Is Kamino Manato some kind of prophet? And did Hoyoverse just use him to reveal huge details about the future path of Zenless' story? If you've played Zenless for a minute, you already know that the devs love hiding future plot details in plain sight, even in main story quests. But this time, it's not leaks, it's not rumors. Unlike your favorite idol faction that will definitely be showing up before 1.6, Manato is literally dropping truths about where the story is heading, and I'm about to show you exactly how. But first, let me drop some truths about today's sponsor. Recently, I've actually found something that saves money every single time I top up. Let me show you a website I've been using called rushbuy.gg. Okay, here's the cool part. Rushbuy.gg gives you instant discounts. You're literally paying less for the same in-game items. Top-ups are done without needing your username or password. You just need your user ID and the server you play on. It really is that simple, but if you ever have an issue, their dedicated customer service team is always there to help you with any concerns. Use my exclusive code ZZHero1220 to get an extra 15% off the top of your regular savings. Yep, you get all the normal benefits of the rushbuy.gg website, plus an extra 15% when you use my code. ZZHero1220, but you better act quick because that code expires on December 20th. So if you want to top up cheaper, safer, and faster, check out rushbuy.gg. More gaming joy, less money spent every time. Zenless is kind of known for exposing lore through subtle hints in obscure places, all throughout the game. There's multiple good examples of this, but one of the obvious ones from the beginning of the game was W engines. The word itself in the Chinese language is yingxing, or something like that, and it literally translates to audio engine. Why is this significant? Well, the hollows and ether energy all respond in unique ways to sound and vibration. So from the beginning of the game, without telling you, they were telling you that the W engines manipulate the hollows to create unique effects. I mean, some of the W engines are straight up music players. They're hiding it in plain sight. This time, I think the hint is right in front of our faces. Exactly where the future areas of the game will take place and where the proxies will travel is unknown. However, in this dialogue cutscene during the main story of 2.3, Manato says something interesting. I think he's pointing at something very specific. Here's the clip.
Picture it. One day, that boy will set out for the outer ring. Through jungles, over mountains, and along city streets. To ruins, to the deep sea, to the sky, hell, even to the moon. Wherever they go, I'll go with them.
Did you catch it? In the clip, Manato mentions specific regions. I don't think it's an accident. This is kinda how the devs market. They want you to know, but they're not gonna come right out and tell you. That's what lore nerds like me are good for. Being ridiculously handsome and uncovering Zenless lore. That's it. That's all I'm good for. Let's break it down. He says the boy, meaning himself, will head for the outer ring. Through jungles, mountains, city streets, ruins, deep sea, sky, and even to the moon. 8 specific locations are mentioned, and I don't think any of them are by chance. They all represent something we know or will know on the current map of Eridu. Speaking of which, here's the current map in the game up to this point. Manato says he's going to set out from Waifei Peninsula, travel all the way east to reach the outer ring. In his words, traveling through jungles, mountains, and city streets. City streets, we definitely already know. That's 6th Street or possibly Lumina Square. Either or, doesn't matter. They both apply. Mountains is probably Waifei Peninsula itself. In the lore, it's known to be a mountainous region. So I suppose that one's not too hard either. The final location that Manato mentions that we probably already know about is Hollow Zero, aka Ruins. In the first map that we were ever given of the layout of Eridu, it even marks the Hollow Zero area known as Eridu Ruins. So that's 4 out of 8 locations that we pretty much already know to be confirmed and exist already. The order and phrasing that Manato uses is not accidental. It's broken into 2 parts. The first part is, like I said, things that we already know. The second part he describes as places he would go following his friends. These are the locations that I think we will get to go to very soon. But before we talk about that, we have to address the last one on the first set of locations. Jungles. We know city streets, we know ruins, we know mountains, but jungles. Do we know jungles? The world of Zinless is kind of a wreck. It's not really known to be a lush green place. So where, on the map of Eridu, would we perhaps find a jungle? We know nearly everything about the current map of Zinless except for one region, the southern central region, the Throne Quarter. Could that be our jungle? We have no idea. I've done hours of research trying to find out what the Throne Quarter is, and what it looks like, or what it may look like, and there's just nothing out there yet. So, jungle, sure, why not? Probably not. I'm guessing it's a fancy place, probably an even bigger city than New Eridu, with high life and royalty, where Eridu's elite play. That's the best I could come up with in my research. Maybe they play in the jungle because it's lush and green and reminds them of the earth that was. It's a theory. That leaves 3 future locations: deep sea, sky, and moon. The moon we definitely have to talk about. I've already said that the devs love hiding things in plain sight, and there is nothing more plain sight than running around certain areas of the map, looking up and seeing the moon. More than halfway filled with hollows, and some green crater places that are really confusing and intriguing. There's definitely huge amounts of backstory to know just by looking up and seeing the moon. They're hinting at something big, and I definitely think we're going there one day in the future. Pretty much all Hoyoverse games end up in the moon or have something to do with the moon in a story sense. Zinless is no different, just take a look at it. It's basically begging us to go there. I recently did a video where I took some Q&As. And one of those questions was, could a hollow form underwater? I really don't see a problem with that. The way that I understand the ether problem that the planet of Zinless has, ether is everywhere. Some people fight me on this, and that's fine. I believe in some concentration, whether it be super small or super big. Ether is all throughout the planet, from the very core to the moon. And I really think that includes underwater as well. We've seen Hoyoverse go underwater before, with a perfect example being the Fontaine region in Genshin Impact. Zinless is not exactly like Genshin, but that's a good thing. It could do it differently, and probably better in my opinion. And the last location we have to cover is Sky. We definitely already know this exists. Lore was dropped about Lady Sunbringer eradicating a hollow in the sky all by herself. That in itself is enough to prove it's a possibility. Imagine going to a hollow in the sky and then finding some kind of big fissure that leads to outer space. The possibilities are really endless. But going to the area Manato mentions as Sky is very possible. And I definitely want to point out the Dark Wall. That, as we know it, is the wall that stops humanity from leaving the area of Eridu. But here's the fun part. It never really says how close the Dark Wall is to the civilization that we know. You could hop in your funny little random play van and drive for hours and hours and never meet the Dark Wall. We know that the Outer Ring is huge, and that the Dark Wall is far beyond that. So thankfully the map that we have right now is just a small fraction of what's to come. If anyone out there is familiar with Genshin Impact, when you started in that game, despite the map being huge at the beginning, it kept growing and growing and growing, and now it's like 5 times the size, probably more. But in my opinion, Zinless Zone Zero will probably not have quite as big of a map, but that's definitely not to say that we're limited to what we know right now. There's definitely more out there. Could we go beyond the Dark Wall one day? Bro, I really hope so. I hope that New Eridu is not the only civilization out there, and we get to go far beyond in places of the planet that we once thought were off limits. But that's just me rambling and thinking outside the box. This video was about what Manato had to say and him being a prophet. The devs using him to predict the future of Zinless' story and the path that we'll take. I know the devs love this kind of lore drop, hiding in plain sight, information that will one day come to be. And then we can look back on it and go, Manato said that. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. But surely you have your own theories. What do you think? Where will the proxies end up next? Where could they possibly end up in the future? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. Join my Discord, hit up my Ko-Fi if you love me, and subscribe. All the links in the description below. Hey, no matter where the story takes us, we'll go together. But for now, proxies and bang boos, I'll see you in New Eridu.
Are you ready?